Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome to the Free Hammers. It's been a while. Usually I do these walking along and stuff like that, but I thought I'd have a little live show with you guys. Talk about where we're at West Ham wise, what is going on, when are we going to sign another player? It's becoming increasingly more frustrating as the days, weeks, headlines, and social media go crazy with what is going on. So yeah, I'll be back straight after this. So yeah, guys, what are we? 3 weeks away from the start of the season. What we got? Two pre-seasons game left. I think we've got Palace and Celta Vigo left. We've still got a couple of players to come back. Obviously, Lucas Paquetá, Bowen, Alvarez come back yesterday. We need some players. We desperately need to get this striker deal done. Obviously, today the big rumour is the Nicholas Falkenberg, I think that's how you pronounce it, the big German striker who had a really good Euros actually. Has been linked for 15 million. Not for me. Not for me. If it was him plus Duran, and you was going to ship off Antonio, and you was going to go with a slightly older, more experienced one, and then Duran's the more raw and prospect player that you've spent big money on, then yeah. But if it's going to be Antonio and Falkenberg for the rest of the season, not for me. Not for me. That's just it's lazy. It's saying it's desperate with no forward thinking behind it. Like I say, it's a good price if he was going to be the second striker, but not the main man. There's players out there. Look, if you was gonna spend, I don't know, 36, 37 and on Duran, just go and buy Tony. I know he may want to go Tottenham, but if you put the money on the table, then all of a sudden it means Tottenham have got to put the money up and see what happens. I personally still think Duran's going to happen. I think he's made his, position at Aston Villa very sort of untenable in terms of the fans forgiving him and stuff like that. I think it might, it will take another bid from West Ham to do it. Just get it done. This is a player that wants to join. Yes, listen, we all have our concerns. We have our concerns about his behaviour and stuff like that. We've had it before. The Arnies, Palos, Payets. If the players didn't have this sort of, flawed genius side to them, they would never have been at West Ham like Arnautovic if he wouldn't have had that sort of moany style. He was linked to Manchester United at one point. Paolo Di Canio the same. Payet, if he wouldn't have had his, his issues and stuff, Dimitri Payet could have that season, when he was one of the best players in the world, could have played for Real Madrid, could have played for anyone, and he would have been one of the best players in their team. So, if they didn't have that mental block of a Balotelli and stuff like that, West Ham wouldn't be able to get players like that, and that's why West Ham, the level we're at, is why you have to take that risk. And I really do like the player, and I hope it does come off. Sufyan says this window has been a shambles. We need a complete rebuild, and we ended up spending 55 million on Kilman and some kid from Brazil with no goals in 30 games. I agree, mate. It's at the moment it's a shambles. Like I say, you can't fully look at it until the end because obviously West Ham are renowned for late deals and taking so long for deals, and then you end up going, oh look, we signed that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. It is frustrating. It is becoming very frustrating. I think we would all relax if a striker came in as well. And I'm not talking the German guy. I'm talking if the Duran deal was done. I think we could look and go, okay, the rest can wait maybe to the end of the window. We do want a left winger. Obviously, we're linked with Somerville from Leeds, who's a very, very good player. But the 40 million price tag is a bit steep, but that's what they want. Same for us with Declan Rice last year. people would go, oh, Declan Rice, 100 million. What are West Ham thinking? That's how much he was to us. We didn't budge either on the price. And that's the same with what Villa's doing to us. And it's the same what Leeds are doing with us with Somerville. So, it is what it is. It's a good thing to see as well. As a neutral, it's good to see clubs now being able to have that power to say no. As much as it's frustrating to West Ham can say, like for a Kudus, like for a Paquetá, you pay the 85 million of the buyout clause, or he doesn't go. Same for someone like Jarrod Bowen. To probably get Jarrod Bowen out of West Ham, you're looking at 110, 120 million, purely because that's what his value is to West Ham. Is he worth that? I don't know, but to West Ham he is. And it gives me a little bit of hope, these new rules, and where they're enforcing them a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit more forcefully. It might steady the ship in terms of being able to keep hold of players. Not being in Europe this year is not great. In terms of being able to track a player, obviously Fofana, a player who David Moyes could have had last year, very frustrating. In fact, heavily linked to AC Milan. We're apparently coming with some bigger bid. He has got no intention of coming to West Ham by all accounts. And that bid to me comes across as we tried. We put in a 35 million euro bid for Fofana. He didn't want to come. But you probably knew, probably Sullivan and that knew that they can go out in the press to Jim White, etc., and say, yeah, well, look, we have tried. Look at this bid we put in there, put a bid in there, put a bid in there. That's what that one screams of, the Fofana one. McAllister says, hi, Luke. I think a lot of players look down on us as a club. It's football snobbery. I don't want players that don't want to be. It's true as well. You want players that want to be. By all accounts, Duran wants to come to West Ham. You do have to remember it's a different world. You have to remember they live in a different world where we're looking at it as West Ham fans, and the privilege of playing for West Ham for us is completely different to them. If you're not a West Ham fan, yes, you're getting paid to play football, but at the end of the day, it is a job. It is their job. It's like us not having enthusiasm to go to work one day, or not having the enthusiasm to go to, like for me, for example, going to a lesser school to work at. So yeah, they're not all West Ham fans. They're not all grown up on pie mash, watching Di Canio, Bobby Moore, etc. So yeah, you do have to convince a player. You do have to give them a bit more money. But I think when players do join West Ham that may not initially have been keen and have been looking for other offers potentially, I think they do fall in love with the club. I think they fall in love with the fans and the way that we, absolutely adore our players. And then that's what happens, Sofian says, if we're not going to get Duran, we should have gone for Brobbey. Yeah, I'm a big fan, good player from Ajax, or even Eddie Nketiah. Fulkrug is 31 and not a long-term solution. Yeah, he's big. Listen, he'll score goals because we'll put crosses in. He's got a good shot, that German geezer, as well, but it's just not what I want. I want pace. Listen, the thought of, let's just pick one of your ones there. Let's just assume not Duran. Let's just say someone like Eddie Nketiah, who's a fantastic finisher. Broadby as well. Bags of pace, big, strong. Reminds me of that guy that we come up against. I can't remember his name. Played for Ghent. Big, strong guy who's really hard to play against last year. It's something different. And you put Bowen, you put Kudus in there with the pace and the power. We become really exciting on that counter attack. Like I say, you just need mobility and pace and power, and it's just what we need. What's this? Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer you promotion for your channel. Bloody. Get in touch. What else am I going to say? Yeah, Wan-Bissaka as well. This one's going up, down. I want him. I like him as a player. I think, a lot of the top pundits say it as well. He's one of the best defensive fullbacks in the Premier League in terms of one-on-ones, tackles, pace as well. He may not totally offer a real threat with the forward attacking stuff, but he is really, really good in terms of the defensive side of the game, which we'll need. Again, back to that keenness of coming. Can understand it. He's playing for Manchester United, but I'd like to think he'd want to come back to London. I think we can offer him a good package. I think this will happen. It's one of them ones that might drag on a bit, and hopefully it doesn't become like a Maguire situation. I'm glad we didn't get Maguire in the end, but at one point last summer it looked really close to happening, and you just don't want that situation. Then we have to desperately try and find another right back or left back, whatever we're going to do. And that's just annoying, it's just annoying situation to be in. Anything else, guys, from your end? Obviously, the big news from ex-West Ham employee this morning, it looks like Lewis Alford, the man who apparently was wanted by Villa as part of the Duran deal, will be signing a new 5-year deal now, which is fantastic news. Apparently, Mark Noble's had a big input on that. Apparently, sort of discussed a 5-year plan to get into the first team and stuff like that, which is absolutely fantastic. We want to see these youth players given a chance. We want to see them blooded in properly, and that's not how Allardyce does it, and that's not how Moyes does it. Where they just throw them in a deep end and make one mistake, we never see them again. The way to develop youth players is by giving them 10, 15 minutes in games and really, getting them in around the first team, training and stuff like that. Look, the Freddie Potts, I think, is going to have a big, big future. George Urphy, we've seen, the bits and bobs with him. So it's good. It's good that West Ham are finally, trying to get these players down. It's the future of the club. You may, as stupid as it sounds, let's not assume we've got another Declan Rice £100 million player sitting there. But you might have a £50 million player sitting there. You might have a £40 million player. And even let's say, for example, I don't know, like a Danchesters or someone like that, or let's say Lewis Alford. Right, Lewis Alford gets in West Ham's team. I don't know, plays 15 odd games, and gets to a £25 million player. That's 25 million profit that you've made. That's what good clubs do. Chelsea, renowned for doing that, flooding their academy full of players, selling them for a good price. And then that's why they can go and buy the Caicedos for 110 million. He hasn't lived up to that price tag yet, but that's why they could go and do it, because they've been very, very clever with their flooding their youth academy, basically with good talent, giving them chances on loan and stuff. And that's how it works. Trying to think what else. The Betway stuff, obviously Betway now seems to be that is going to be ended next year. You should see what our sponsor is, and hopefully I think the Umbro deal might end next year as well. I'm not 100%, might have 2 years on it, the Umbro deal. So we can go forward with the sponsor there. I'm not going to go for much longer, guys. Like I say, just quick and short, unless you guys put some questions in about what you want to see. Me and Paul will be back for a podcast. I'm just looking forward to the season starting now. Like I say, I'm nervous. We do need players. But I'm missing the football. And you know what's going to be good about this season? As much as I say that Europe's not there anymore, it will be nice to have the 3 o'clock kickoffs back. I do love, sitting down watching West Ham at 3 o'clock. It's better for your weekends rather than the Sundays all the time. I can't stand it when West Ham are on a Sunday. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. That's sort of what it is at the minute on my opinions. This is just my opinion. This is not some news. I'm not an in the know. I just give my opinions on what I think of the players and, what I think we need. But apart from that, guys, come on, you Lions. Keep believing, and I'll be back, hopefully, with news that we're signing a player soon. Come on, you Lions.